VLANJ Goes Virtual, a dining in the dark experience. Welcome to our pre-show. My name is Linda Grosef, Senior Program Manager for Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Thank you to our silver sponsors, Modera Wealth Management, Frank Cafassa, NJM Insurance Group, Bridgehaven Financial Advisors, Dispensary and Company LLP, New Jersey Natural Gas, Martin and Misty Hagen, Normandine Home for Services, Summit Lions, McEntee Fusera Del Corral LLC, The Church of the Savior in Denville, New Jersey, and Eyes Like Mine. Meet Buddy, a VLANJ student for 11 years.
I have glaucoma. I was hit with a massive attack of glaucoma at one point. I lost my balance. I had basically no vision at all for a couple of days, and it did optic nerve damage on my eyes, and they told me I will lose my eyesight. And I do feel that my eyesight is going. A little bit at a time, but it's going. So I do what I can do with what I got while I got it. Vision Loss Alliance made me first off feel at ease, being around other people, being able to talk in the same vein with the problem that I had. I don't want to stop doing things because I'm losing my eyesight. I enjoy challenges. My main thing is dancing. I've gotten into line dancing, and I got caught one day by the head program director, Linda, and she asked me, how do you think you could teach the blind how to dance? And my common answer, you don't dance on your eyes, you dance on your feet. I says, if you want to learn to dance, you will learn how to dance. And I says, anybody that wants to try it, we tried it. We tried a volunteer session, just a trial, to see how many people would be interested in it. We haven't stopped. And I says, they're still coming now. And I says, all the time they come, they've got a smile on their face, and that's payment for me. I said, I see a smile, that makes my day.
Modera Wealth Management, thoughtful, impactful financial consultants. Frank Cafassa, tax accountants and consultants. Summit Lions. Meet Debbie, a VLANJ student for 12 years.
At the age of 9, I was diagnosed with what they call juvenile macular degeneration then. Now it is called Stargardt's. It was a very, very slow progression. I'd say by my junior high to senior high year, I was unable to read textbooks any longer, and I was never able to drive, but pretty much everything else I could do. By the time I hit 50, it was another story. The degeneration went really quickly. I couldn't keep up with the changes in it. Every time I'd come up with a plan of how to do it now, it was way past that. So I had heard about the Foundation for the Blind, which is now Vision Loss Alliance, and I made a call because I knew that I needed some professional help and I needed it right away. After my evaluation and the first day of school, and I saw what the other students were capable of, I kind of got a little bit nervous, thinking like, I might be out of my league here. These people are doing things that there's no way I can ever do. But it wasn't long at all before the other students and the teachers convinced me that, I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life on the sidelines as a spectator, that I could in fact be a participant, and I was able to do so much more than I ever dreamed that I could. There's a very well-rounded program here, but the one that stood out for me the most and opened the world to me was learning how to use the computer. All of a sudden I could email, I could investigate things on Google, things that I wanted to know, I could get instant answers. It was just like the world opened up. Over the years, we developed such a close friendship with all the other students that I wanted to take those computer skills and use them to make a student newsletter. Now we have about 4 or 5 students that participate in our newsletter, which we call the Blind Vine. I could not have done that if it wasn't for learning the computer.
NJM Insurance Group. Bridgehaven Financial Advisors. McEntee Fusaro del Corral, LLC, Certified Public Accountants and Forensic Consultants. Meet Paul, a VLANJ student for 7 years.
I am congenitally blind, which means I am blind from birth. I was 3 months premature. I needed oxygen and I needed to be in an incubator for 3 months. And the oxygen went to the brain and destroyed the retinas. Vision Loss Alliance has impacted my life in several ways. It has given me friendships, it's given me relationships, it's given me motivation. I attended the health and wellness program. I began that in September of 2016. We have a peer support class, which is awesome. We're able to identify with people that understand our family situations, understand our life situations. They understand the challenges that we're facing. They understand our frustrations. And when we come here, we're able to communicate with each other, and both technically and face-to-face. Technology made me independent in the way that I am able to effectively read email. I am effectively able to do internet searches, effectively able to text. I love all the classes. I love every class at Vision Loss Alliance. Drumming is awesome. I love drumming. Drumming helps me listen because I have to effectively listen to sometimes different parts of a rhythm. Listening helps with mobility, being able to listen to the traffic outside, listen to cars, listen to where they're coming from. I think even around situations, not even listening to traffic, but listening, just honing in on something, maybe even paying more attention, even to conversations. There was a gentleman that I met here at Vision Loss Alliance. We still keep in contact. I remember we started out, I was gonna show him the iPad, and we did the iPad for about 10 minutes, and I realized that the iPad wasn't the thing he needed. He needed like conversation. He needed somebody to be able to listen to him on how he was adjusting or how he could adjust, to give him ideas. And that's what comes out of here also, relationships.
Dispensary and Company, LLP, Certified Public Accountants. New Jersey Natural Gas. Eyes Like Mine, Incorporated, to share awareness about the abilities and potentials of individuals with vision loss through advocacy, community outreach, empowerment workshops, and awareness events. Meet Diane, a VLANJ student for 12 years.
I was born with congenital glaucoma. However, my blindness was due to a detached retina from multiple surgeries. The last surgery that I had for the glaucoma, I hemorrhaged and it detached my retina, so that's the real cause of my blindness. I've been attending Vision Loss Alliance for the last 10 years. I started in April of 2009. I take Access Link. It would normally take me about 45 minutes, but since, I travel with a group, it takes me between an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes longer, one way. And I also go to the gym 3 days a week, and I really feel I got the confidence to do that because I would take the fit and balance classes so that when I went to the gym, I knew what to do because I learned it here. Here at Vision Loss Alliance, we are like a community. We all more or less have the same problem, and so we understand one another. It's a very comfortable atmosphere, and I did make a lot of friends here. I don't feel left out. Like, a lot of times, even when I'm with my own family, sometimes you feel left out because it's like they seem to talk to you a different way than they would talk to somebody else. But I don't feel that, when I'm here, I feel like that I belong here.
Martin and Misty Hagan proudly sponsor Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Normandine Home for Services. The Church of the Savior in Denville, New Jersey. Thank you to our sponsors, Platinum sponsors, the Bleach family, the Augusto family, Claudia Schreiber. Gold sponsors, PPAC Gladstone Bank, Williams Jones Wealth Management. Silver sponsors, Modera Wealth Management, Franco Fasa EA LLC, NJ Natural Gas, NJM Insurance Group, Dispensary and Company, LLP, Martin and Misty Hagan, Bridgehaven Financial Advisors, Summit Lions Club, Normandine Home for Services, McEntee Fusero del Corral, LLC, Eyes Like Mine, The Church of the Savior in Denville, New Jersey. Sponsor a student, Dyer Landscaping. Welcome to VLANJ Goes Virtual, a dining in the dark experience. All recommended safety precautions for COVID-19 were followed during the filming of our program. Now here's Chris Marino, our Executive Director, to kick off tonight's event.
Hi, my name is Chris Marino, and I'm the Executive Director of Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Welcome to VLANJ Goes Virtual, a dining in the dark experience. These are unprecedented times requiring all of us to do extraordinary things. At some point in the future, we will look back on this year and see the many ways in which COVID changed our lives. March 17th was the last day of in-person programs at our site in Denville, New Jersey. At that point in time, we thought we would be working from home for 2 to 3 weeks. Little did we know what was coming our way. COVID challenged us to change the way we provide services, as traditional services require close in-person contact. With input from our board, staff, instructors, and students, we quickly formulated a plan for the organization. We would pivot our programs to a virtual platform, a brand new venture for VLANJ. By March 30th, we had developed a virtual program and launched a pilot with 3 classes: yoga, fitness, and mindfulness and meditation. Since then, we have grown to 13 classes with over 100 individuals participating on a weekly basis. Our move to a virtual environment enabled us to transcend the boundaries of transportation. We have individuals from all over New Jersey, as well as from other states, join our classes each week. Our course catalog now includes topics in physical fitness, mental well-being, technology, and adaptive skills training, with plans to continue expansion this fall. Why are our classes so important? What underlies all of our programs, both in the past and in the present, is the goal of reducing social isolation. In the past months, we have all experienced what it is like to be isolated in our homes. Imagine that isolation is more than a few months. Without transportation options, in the past, many individuals with vision loss were unable to attend our programs. Developing a virtual environment has removed that boundary. For over 75 years, we have been providing programs and services to individuals with vision loss in the state of New Jersey. We will reopen our in-person programs at some point in the future, but we will also continue our virtual program. With the support of our donors, we will continue to thrive and grow as we have done in 2020. Now on to our virtual program. You will be taken on a journey through a day in the life of individuals with vision loss, experiencing what it is like to cook, travel independently, and use technology to navigate their lives. In my eyes, these people are everyday heroes. I have so much respect for the individuals who come through our doors, and I know that at the end of our program, you will too. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joyce Esty, and I'll be your guide for tonight's VLANJ Goes Virtual, a dining in the dark experience. Vision loss is a serious problem. State statistics show that in New Jersey, more than 180,000, or 1 in 40 adults over the age of 55, are affected by vision loss. And cases of eye diseases that can lead to vision loss are increasing as the population ages. National Eye Institute projects a threefold increase in cases of blindness alone by the year 2050. This is why the work of Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey is so critical. For over 75 years, they have provided individuals with the tools and techniques needed to remain independent in their homes as well as their communities. Tonight's program is both educational and inspirational and will feature segments in cooking and dining, assistive technology, and orientation and mobility, as well as tips and techniques for assisting people with vision loss. Our first tip is provided by Lewis, one of our program's participants. You'll see additional tips throughout the evening's program.
When you enter to the room, please tell me who you are so I know who I'm talking to. If you leave the room, please tell me so that I don't continue my conversation with you.
Cooking and dining. Now let's take a trip to Claudia's kitchen, where she'll demonstrate cooking and dining with vision loss.
This segment is sponsored by Claudia Schreiber. Claudia, an advocate for the blind and visually impaired, remains true to her key principle, helping individuals one at a time in the beginning of their journey into vision loss.
Hi, my name is Claudia Schreiber. I am on the board at the Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey, and I'm also a graduate of the program, a successful graduate. Tonight, I am going to show you that cooking a meal from soup to nuts, from beginning to end, is very easy once you know the skills. And I learned all those skills at the Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Let's start by finding a recipe. So I'm going to take out my iPhone and I'm going to ask Siri for a recipe. Hey Siri, look on the internet for a recipe for tomato basil sauce.
Okay, I found this on the web for recipe for tomato basil sauce. Check it out.
I think I will.
Link, tomato basil sauce, heading level 1. 21 reviews, in page link. Level, easy.
Oh, easy.
Yield, 2 cups.
2 cups.
Ingredients, middle dot 8 pounds tomatoes. Seeded and diced middle dot 1/4 cup chopped fresh basil middle dot 1 large onion. Minced middle dot 3 cloves garlic. Minced middle dot 1/2 cup olive oil middle dot salt and pepper 2.
Oh, I have had to have all those ingredients except the tomatoes. Shh, I'm using canned. Okay. First, I'd like to find out what type of pasta I have. Now, I could open up the box and take out one of the shells or one of the pennes and know what it is, but I won't know how long to cook it. So I think I'm going to ask Alexa. Alexa, what am I holding?
Let's see. I think that's Barilla pasta, medium shells. For more info on this product, say, Alexa, details.
Alexa, details.
Shape resembles a seashell and is the perfect size for holding flavorful sauces. Vertical bar cooks in 8 minutes. Vertical bar pairs well with light and robust sauces and is perfect for macaroni and cheese. Vertical bar, good source of thiamine, folic acid, iron, riboflavin and niacin. Vertical bar, product of USA, kosher certified.
Alexa, thank you. The most important thing about being a visually impaired cook is organization. Always, I have everything prepared before I start cooking. That means all the onions are chopped, the garlic is chopped, the basil is chopped, in this case for the tomato basil sauce. The cans are opened, everything is prepared. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop the onion. So the way I normally chop an onion, and now I'm using a knife that is not serrated. So how would I figure out which is the sharp side? You don't want to put your finger on it because whoops, you could cut yourself, especially this knife, which happens to be very sharp. So because it's my set of knives, I know there's a bump at the bottom and I know which side that is the sharp side. But another way of doing it is to take the knife, hold it on a flat surface, and rock it like this. You know that if it's curved at the end, that is the sharp side. So now, very important is safety. You never want to have a knife too close to your fingers. And you see, I've been cooking for 30 years, and I still have all my fingers. So the first thing I do with an onion is that I cut a little edge off the bottom. And you see, my fingers are far away from the knife. And this stabilizes it on the cutting board. In this case, I need to chop the onion. So I'm going to start by slicing it. My fingers are far away, very far away from the blade. Then I stop because now my fingers are getting closer. So then I turn the onion over and I start chopping this way. I never let that knife get too close to my fingers. So now you see it got close, so I start chopping this way until everything is chopped. So I chop it this way. Never have that knife close to your fingers. These are some of the skills that I've learned being a visually impaired chef. Now, if you don't feel comfortable chopping the way I'm chopping, and I've been a very experienced cook, you also can use a safety glove when you're chopping. That would mean you're using a special glove on this hand, that one that comes close to the knife, and it cannot be pierced. So when this is all done being chopped, I put it into a bowl to get ready to cook. Now again, the way that you prepare your home is very important, that you be organized and know exactly where everything is. Now, I am totally blind, but I knew if I just turned my back and opened a cabinet, and I knew exactly where to find this bowl. Organization is key to people who are visually impaired. So now the onions are ready for the dish. So now I'm going to clear this off. I'm going to heat my hands here, put it in the bowl, and now I'm going to put it at the end of the row. So I know exactly what's over here. Next is going to be the garlic. So I have my cloves of garlic here, and I found this handy dandy little pull chopper at the Vision Loss Alliance class, which I love, 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 and I use it for everything. Now it has a very sharp blade, but I'm aware it's there, so I'm never going to cut myself on it. So what I do is I put the garlic in, and I'm not even close to the blade. Put the garlic in, and I like a lot of garlic. I think I have about 10 cloves there. Okay, so now I'm going to put this here. So now I've put all the garlic in, and I make sure my blade is on the little knob in the middle. And I find now again, I'm organized, so I knew that if I just put my hand to the right, that's where the cover was. That's the biggest thing about being blind. Sometimes you put things down and you can't find them. Now I'm going to close it, and now it's completely safe. The blade is not anywhere near me. And I'm going to pull the chopper. Now everything is chopped. And you know what? This particular little gadget is not just for blind people, but I happen to love it. Okay, so now all the garlic, you see, is chopped up. The first thing I do before I do anything is to put the blade away. We forget where we put things. So if you've forgotten it, you could possibly get yourself cut. So I turn my back, I hold it very carefully, turn on the sink, rinse it off, and put it directly into the dishwasher. So there's no chance of me getting cut on this blade. Okay, and then I'm going to put the top in the sink. Organization is key. Okay, so now we have our onions and our garlic, and now I have basil. The basil is all washed, and I'm going to pull some of the stems off. And I'm going to measure it in a measuring cup. And I'd like to use about 1/4 cup. So this is 1/4 cup. I know that because I know which cups are which. And I am going to put it in the cup. I think it was about 1/4 cup. I'm going to pull off that stem, and then I'm going to do a rough chop on it. So, okay. So now I know it's about 1/4 cup. So I'm going to do a rough chop on the basil. Rough chop. It doesn't have to be anything, it doesn't have to be small because you're going to be cooking it in the sauce. You see, I never sweep my hand on the cutting board with the knife there. Safety is the most important thing. But as a visually impaired person, you learn how to accommodate your visual impairment. And this is one of the things that I did learn on my own. So now we have the onions are ready, the basil is ready, the garlic is ready. I think we're ready to cook. You might ask yourself, how do you know what portion size to make? How do you know how much pasta to make for 2 people? Or for 1 person for that matter? Well, there are a couple of ways you could do it. You could use a measuring cup, which every piece of pasta is a different size, so I like to know exactly how much I'm eating. So I use my handy dandy little talking scale, which I love and I use all the time. So I'm going to show you how it works.
Hello. It's ready.
See, it's ready. So now I'm going to put a bowl on the scale.
6.0 ounces.
And I'm going to zero this out so I know exactly how much pasta I'm using.
0.0 ounces.
So now I'm going to open the pasta box, and I want it's for 2 portions. So let's say 6 ounces.
0.8 ounces. 1.5 ounces.
So I know it's much more than that.
2.3 ounces.
Yes, maybe we should make.
3.8 ounces.
So I'll keep adding until it gets to the magic number of 6 ounces.
5.1 ounces. 5.7 ounces.
Getting close.
5.9 ounces.
Good enough for me. Okay, now we're ready to start cooking. Well, I also prepared some garlic bread, and now I'm going to put it in the oven. I want to show you how I navigate my oven. The oven has bump dots on it. So I know the first thing I have to do is find the word bake. And I've put a bump dot on bake, but because it has clicks, I know what the next one is, which is convection oven. But in this case, I'm not going to use the convection oven. I'm just going to bake. So I have it on bake. I feel the bump dot, it's lining up. And now I have to put the temperature on. So I've put the bump dots on 375 and 400. And I could kind of navigate if I need a little less or I need a little more. I know where the bump dots are. You don't want to put too many on, because if you put too many on, you really get confused as to where they are. So now I'm going to turn the oven on, and it's going to preheat for and it is on 400. I have it lined up with the second bump dot. The first one is 375. Now we're going to put our garlic bread in. And as soon as our dish is done, the garlic bread is going to be done too. Okay, I'm putting it in. Okay. Next is we're going to center the pots on the stove. So for the pot that I'm going to cook the tomato sauce in, I'm going to start with the pot empty, right on the stove. I'm going to reach my hands under so I could find the center of the burner. I do this every single time I cook. Okay, so now it's centered and ready to go. Next, I'm going to fill the pot that I'm going to cook the pasta with water. So, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to center the second pot on the stove. Now, most important is to make sure the handle of the stove is not sticking out like this, where you could knock it over and burn yourself with hot water. So now I've centered both pots, and I am going to turn on the water to boil. And I heard it go on, and I feel the heat, so I know it's on the correct burner. Now, you might ask yourself, how do you know when the water is boiling? You can't see. But I could hear it. I could hear it boiling. So we're going to wait to hear what it sounds like, and then we're going to put in the pasta. Okay. So you might ask yourself, how do you measure oil? So I have a tablespoon here, and I happen to find a 2 tablespoon, which I was very excited about, because in this case, I need 2 tablespoons, not 1. So I'm going to take the oil, and I'm going to hold it over the pot. And I have the tip of my finger right at the top. So I know when I've put in enough oil. And if there's a little more, you know, it's no big deal. Now, if I wanted to be exact about the oil, I could pour it over a paper cup, but in this case, you could use a little extra oil. Now I'm going to turn on the next burner. So I count from the end, and I see I'm on the first one. That's, I know, is this burner. I turn it on. Again, I feel the heat, and I'm going to leave it on high for a little while just to heat up the oil. The wonderful thing about this recipe is, as soon as the water boils, you put in the pasta. We're going to put a timer on, 8 minutes, that's what Alexa told me. And then by the time that the pasta is cooked, the sauce is also cooked. Okay, I could hear a little sizzle in the pan. That's good enough for me. So I know where I am, I pour in the garlic. And now I put this in the sink. Next, I'm going to put in the onion. I always feel where I'm going. I know that this is the pan. Throw in the onion. Again, put the bowl in the sink. Got to be organized. Now I'm going to take out a spoon, which I know exactly where everything is in my kitchen. And I smidge it around a little. That's what I call it. I smidge it around. So it's cooking a little bit. Smidge around. Okay. Next, we're going to put in, I'm going to lower this a little bit, and we're going to put in the tomatoes. Again, very organized in the sink, and I'm going to put in the tomatoes. My hands never really touch the pot because I know the pot is hot, and I'm going to throw in the basil. Get that in there. Okay. So now I'm going to mix it around. And I've already measured out some salt. And if you could believe, a teeny bit of sugar cuts the acidity. At least that's what somebody told me. Okay, and we're going to bring this to a boil. You can hear now that the pasta sauce is boiling. So I am going to lower the temperature. Okay, there we go. I'm going to let it simmer until the pasta is ready. And then we're going to eat it. It's so delicious. It smells good. Oh, the water is boiling. I hear it. Now let's have a moment so you can hear it too. The advantage of measuring out your pasta and putting it in a bowl is that you don't spill it all over the stove. Now, I have done that 1 or 2 times, so I know. So now I have my pasta. I know I'm going to get out want to make sure that everything is safe, so I'm going to get out my mitt. I am adjusting myself so I know where the pot is, and I'm throwing in the pasta. I never touch the handle of the pot because it is very hot. So now we're going to bring that to a boil again. I'm going to also, again, find the handle, mix it around, and now we're going to let it cook. It's ready. Alexa, stop timer. Well, everything is ready. So now we turned off the pasta. Now we're going to turn off the sauce. Going to turn off the oven. Everything is off. Now I'm going to, very carefully, because I don't want to burn myself, I have a colander here with a bowl. I'm going to turn the handle in so that I don't get burned on the handle. Now, I learned this technique really by myself because I have poured a lot of pasta into the sink, and guess what? The pasta went into the sink and not into the colander. So I wanted to save money on pasta, so I figured out this way so I don't get burned and I don't lose the pasta. Okay. So now all the excess water is going into the bowl. Okay, so we are finished taking our pasta out. I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss any stragglers. Okay, now I'm gonna leave that there for a minute. I'm gonna put this into the sink. I'm gonna wait for the water to cool down in the pot, and then I'm going to dump the water and take out the delicious garlic bread that I made. So I'm going to pull out, and I found the garlic bread. Oh my gosh, that really smells delicious. Okay, I'm going to put it to the side for a second. Okay, now it's going to cool off a little bit. Now I'm going to take my bowl, and I'm going to get my scooper, and I am going to, again, it's very hard for a blind person to pour things in that you might pour it in the wrong place, so I just use this is actually a half cup measuring cup, but I have a full cup, but I'm just going to keep pouring this into the bowl. It's going to smells delicious. Okay, and at no time was any hot water near me. Okay, and I didn't lose any pasta. Now I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to move I have to put my oven mitt on again to get the top off. I'm going to put that directly in the sink so I don't burn myself. And I am going to I'm going to mish it around a little bit. It smells delicious. And I'm going to pour this on my pasta. Delicious. I'm going to be generous because, there are no rules. I think that's just about enough. Okay, now I'm going to take the bowl over to my island. Okay, so the next and final step, and it smells so good, is we're going to use a mandolin to put a little fresh Parmesan on. So the mandolin has a safety cover. Be very careful. I have a safety glove, which I'm going to put on. And that way I know I'm not going to get cut by the mandolin. Okay, so now I find my center of the bowl, and I take my cheese, and this is going to be delicious, and I just grate the cheese over the pasta. It's going to be really good. Now I'm going to take out the garlic bread. Oh, this is the final step. Oh, and it's cooled off, and it smells so good. Now I've made 2 portions. Okay, so we'll put that right at the edge. Delicious. And that is tomato basil pasta with garlic bread, prepared by a blind chef. Now let's go enjoy our appetizer. Normally what I would do is I'd pick up my glass, and you see, because this is my home, I bought wine glasses without stems. And that's another way I accommodate myself as a visually impaired person so I don't knock over the glass. And so now I'm going to find the wine, which I run my hand at the bottom, so I know if I hit it at the top, I could possibly topple it over. And I will open up the bottle. This happens to be, I do use a corkscrew, but this happens to be a bottle that I open with a cap. Very easy peasy. And when I pour the glass, I take the wine and I find the opening, and I know the opening of my glass is here. And when I pour it in, I listen and I feel the weight of the glass, and I know about how much wine I'm pouring in. I hear it pouring, and I know that it is now approximately in the middle of the glass. And now I'm going to, and this is something I do always, is with everything that's open, as a visually impaired person, you want to cover it in case it does fall over, God forbid, it won't spill all over your floor. Often people ask me, Claudia, how do you cut food? How do you get the food to your mouth? And I kind of laugh. I love to cook, I love to eat, and I'm going to show you now how easy it is and how I make up different techniques for me to enjoy the things that I cook. In front of me, I have a beautiful tomato and fresh mozzarella salad with fresh basil, one of my favorites. As a visually impaired person, you have to figure things out, and you also have to have some training. But in this case, I'm going to explain to you what I have in front of me. I have a fork, I have 2 knives, and I have a spoon. How do I navigate a plate? Let's say I'm in a restaurant and a waiter puts a steak, a delicious baked potato, and a vegetable on my plate. So the first thing I would do is I'd use my fork and knife to navigate the plate. I'd feel where the steak is, that everything has a different texture. I feel where the vegetable is and where the potato is. And now I'm going to show you how exactly I cut. The salad, I'm making sure I'm at the edge of the salad, and I start by piercing with my fork and cutting with my knife. I cut all different directions. My fork touches the food because I could feel the fork piercing the food. My knife is cutting. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact as long as things are in little pieces, right? So you can get them to your mouth. Everything is navigated not with your fingers, as a lot of people think that blind people eat with their fingers. No, you can navigate everything with your knife and your fork. And now I think it's cut up really nicely. I can't wait to take a bite. Yummy, 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 yummy. Now I take my knife, and remember, you don't want to put a knife where you could possibly cut yourself. You're always concerned with that, being visually impaired. I put my knife back, and now I'm going to take a piece of this delicious salad. Really good. Tomato, delicious. Now I'm going to have a sip of wine. Cheers. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're enjoying your dinner at home.
I was a registered nurse. I worked in multiple areas of the hospital. I loved my job, but it got to a point where I could not see to do that job anymore. My eye condition is congenital glaucoma. It was not found out until I was 23. I've had multiple surgeries to try to save it. The last surgery I had, I lost complete sight out of my left eye, and I have very little sight on my right eye. About 10% is left. So until I found Vision Loss Alliance, I thought that everything was going to be pretty depressing. The core program, which was everything from mobility to kitchen skills to the computer, peer support, the whole 9 yards, which was absolutely wonderful. One of the things in the wellness program was the art therapy. I learned that even though I don't have sight, I still have vision to be an artist, to have paintings that people actually bought from me, which was a thrill and a half. It's not easy in the sighted world to be understood, especially family members don't always understand. It takes a long time for them to realize that you have to do things differently. So here, if I'm having a bad day, there's always someone to talk to. Vision Loss Alliance has made me a independent person. It has made me confident. It has made me able to do more things than I could even imagine. I'm now a certified life coach. I would have never tried that without Vision Loss Alliance. It was a godsend. It actually saved my life.
Thank you to our gold sponsor, Williams Jones Wealth Management.
When sitting at a table and you are getting ready to leave, please let me know that you are leaving, and please push in your chair, because a chair jutting out into free space would be a tripping hazard.
O and M. Our Orientation and Mobility, or O&M segment, features Mark, the VLANJ Mobility Instructor. Orientation and mobility is a critical skill for individuals with vision loss. Through a combination of techniques and tools such as trailing, sighted guide, use of the white cane, and guide dogs, individuals learn to travel safely with vision loss.
This segment is sponsored by the Augusto family, who applauds VLANJ's talented and dedicated staff and instructors for their commitment to excellence.
Hi, my name is Mark, and I am an orientation mobility instructor here at Vision Loss Alliance. And what I teach with orientation mobility, I help those who are blind or vision impaired to safely and independently travel or walk from one destination to another. The orientation being knowing where they're at in space, and the mobility is safely traveling or walking from point A to point B. Many of our students do use mobility canes. This cane is a folding mobility cane, and as you notice, it has a grip, the shaft, which is red and white, the tip, this one has a pencil tip, and the student will hold the cane in a particular position, move it left and right, either constant contact or 2-point touch. And the purpose of the cane is for them to get safely from point A to point B by using those motions.
Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm a student at the Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. I may use a long white cane or a guide dog to walk independently, or I may ask to grab your arm. Please let me make that decision, and do not grab my arm. Let me take yours. I will keep a half step behind you, anticipating curbs and steps.
Hi Laura, it's Mark. Would you like some assistance?
Sure, Mark.
Okay. Go ahead and shoreline the grass as you're going toward the building. There you go. And as you're shorelining it, the grass line will turn right. You're going to follow that grass line to the right. Only one right turn. Keep track of that grass line. Excellent. Make your turn with it to the right. Excellent. And no more turns. You're going to go straight to the door. Keep straight. Sweep your cane left and right. No turns. Excellent. So as we approach the open door, I'm going to put my arm behind my back and instruct Lori to get directly behind me. And as we go through the door, she stays behind me. And after we get through, I bring my arm back to my side.
This is Heather. She is my guide dog. I'm going to leave you with 3 tips for safety when guide dogs and handlers are working together. Please do not talk to the dog. This is a big distraction for handlers and dogs. Second, please do not touch the dog at any time. And lastly, please do not give the dog any treats. Keeping these 3 tips in mind will create a safe environment for dogs as well as handlers to work.
When I first moved to New Jersey, I felt isolated. I was frustrated. I was so sad against the world. I didn't want no one to say hi nor bye to me. So when I came here, I was so glad to take the technology. I wanted to learn my iPhone because I had an iPhone 5 for so long, and I would have my husband or my son do everything for me. I will say I'm no longer isolated because I've grown to love technology with my iPhone and my iPad. It helped me through so much around my home and around my neighborhood. In the wellness program, I am taking line dance. Line dance is one of my favorites because it helped me with balance, because I needed to learn how to balance myself. I would always feel like I was going to trip, and line dance has helped me where I can coordinate my steps. I am happy with myself because I've learned a lot since I've been here, but I also learned that I don't need to be afraid of anything. People tell me I can't do it. I tell them, watch me. I'm going to show you I can.
Thank you to our gold-sponsored PPAC Gladstone Bank, private banking since 1921.
If you're going to move something, please let me know. Don't tell me it's over there because I can't see where you're pointing to. I keep things organized in such a way so I can find them.
Low vision. Next, Elsa, the VLANJ Program Director, will demonstrate a variety of assistant technology, devices, as well as show you how low vision therapy is used to help individuals with low vision maximize the use of their residual vision.
Hello, my name is Elsa Zavoda. I'm the Program Director here at Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey, and I also am an occupational therapist, and I specialize in low vision rehabilitation. In fact, I have dual certification in the field of low vision rehabilitation. In my role, I teach individuals adjusting to vision loss how to find and use their remaining areas of vision to be able to function as independently and safely as possible. We accomplish this through several ways. As we age normally, we need to increase the lighting in our home, and the important factor to consider is making sure that we improve illumination without also increasing glare. I introduce task lighting to allow people to focus the light on top of what it is they're doing, and it can tend to help them function better, whether it be to see the food on the plate or be able to see print or perform writing tasks more easily. Some examples are over here, which are task lighting. It's an LED form of lighting. And then on the table here, I have smaller portable light sources, which can be very helpful with being able to see an appliance dial or maybe the thermostat in the home. I also teach about magnification. There's several types of magnification out there. Some examples are here. These are handheld and then illuminated stand magnifiers. They can be very helpful to help someone read their mail, be able to see a food label, a medication label, maybe even be able to get that small phone number off of a business card here. And these are portable electronic magnification devices. What's great about these is that you can actually reverse the contrast, and that can make a huge difference for someone in being able to see print and details. When you use a digital magnifier, you slide it from left to right across the print, and then you bring it back and drop it down to the next line to read the next line of print as you go across. What's great about these digital magnifiers is that you can adjust the contrast very easily at the touch of a button. And you can adjust the size. So you can zoom in to make it larger, or you can zoom out to make it smaller. There are also stationary electronic magnification devices available, and they can be helpful in allowing an individual to read continuous text, such as what would be found in a newspaper, a book, or a magazine, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you next. This is an example of a desktop electronic magnification device, which is commonly known as a CCTV. It can be very helpful in being able to read continuous text printed materials, such as what is found in a book, a magazine, or a newspaper. It also can be wonderful with being able to see materials that have color print, such as with this grocery store circular or a family photograph. And you can actually zoom in to be able to see the details. And doesn't that look delicious? Please reach out to me for more information. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Technology. Technology plays a critical role in the lives of individuals with vision loss, whether through assistive devices, mobile phones, desktop computers, or specialized software. It enables individuals to navigate a world that is becoming increasingly more complex.
This segment is sponsored by the Bleach family. VLANJ technology training programs are the key to full participation in education, employment, and engagement with family, friends, and community.
Hello, my name is Rick Fox. I spent the first 20 years of my professional life at IBM in sales, programming, and help desk support. Since 1998, I have been teaching blind and visually impaired people of all ages to use technology of all kinds to increase their independence and enhance their vocational opportunities. I am the trainer for the instructors in the Learning Lab at Vision Loss Alliance. Technology plays an important role in the lives of those with vision loss, including mobile technology, as you have seen in this evening's video. Tonight, we will focus on Fusion. This is an app that makes the computer display easier to see for those who still have some usable vision and accessible by voice for those who have no vision at all. I have in front of me a Word file which is at normal magnification, and we're going to work from here to enhance the magnification and the colors so that someone with low vision can operate it. If you're totally blind or if you don't have much vision, you may not know what you're sitting in front of. So I'm going to have the software Fusion read me the title of the file I'm sitting in front of.
VLANJ Vision and Mission docs Word print.
So it tells me the name of the file, the name of the program, and what view I'm in. So if I have low vision, I cannot see this screen adequately. It's too small. So I'm going to need to magnify it. I'm going to magnify it to 4 times the normal size. So we're going to zoom in, and you're going to hear the increments as we magnify.
1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.82, 2.2, 2.5, 2.73, 3.5, 4.
So now we're at 400% magnification, and most of the time when you magnify to this extent, you lose your viewable screen or you lose much of it. So we have to focus now back on the Word file, and I'm going to use keyboard commands to do that because mousing around at 4x is much more difficult than using the keyboard. So let's try to find, there we go. So
Alpha.
It said A alpha, so now I know that my focus is on the word about. So we've done the first part, magnification. Now let's try to deal with the mouse pointer and the cursor. This software will enable us to enhance the mouse pointer so that it's more easily visible.
Pointer enhancements enabled.
So I can't use a mouse, but with the software, I can move the mouse for you with the keyboard so that you can see the enhanced pointer.
JAWS to PC. US. Transforming. Lives Comp 1.
So you see the mouse pointer and how big it is. And I'm going to disable it now so it doesn't distract us from the next thing we do.
Pointer enhancements disabled.
All right, I have a new Word document here, and I'm going to type my one little sentence here.
Thank you for joining us at Dining in the Dark Space. Thank you for joining us at Dining in the Dark.
As with any skill, the beginner is halting and makes mistakes. With practice and much repetition, the student gains speed, accuracy, and confidence. When properly trained, our students can create well-formatted documents, handle their email, and surf the web. This gets them ready for independent living, a chance at a better education, and the ability to earn a paycheck once again. Thank you very much for listening, and good night.
My eye condition is it's kind of a cavalcade of several things. I have optic neuritis, which I should have grown out of after steroids, but I still have it, and nystagmus. So everything's blurry and it's moving at the same time. I mostly depend on my hearing, but I see shadows, and it doesn't matter if you are Caucasian or black, everybody's a shadow, and you're moving around. It used to be very nauseating. It was hard to walk in the streets because I was constantly bobbing and weaving, and people would talk to me and say, "What, are you blind?" Yes. All right, well, watch your step. That's what I would get a lot of. When I first came to the Vision Loss Alliance, I went under the technology program. I learned so much about the phone that I had been using for so many years. I have learned how to speak well, because voiceover, if you do not notice, if you say one thing out of whack, it will just say the wrong thing, and it'll be horrible when you're trying to text somebody. So I learned how to speak correctly, and to speak slowly, and to enunciate. I am allowed to read, of course, not with my eyes, but I'm able to listen to books, and there's nothing stopping me. I've gotten a sense of community. People who have the same condition, if not worse, than I do, but they totally understand everything that I'm going through. So I love Vision Loss Alliance. You have literally opened the door for me.
A door that's left ajar can be very dangerous to somebody without sight. I can hit my head if my cane misses its cue, so please keep it all the way open or just close it.
Senator Anthony Bucco has been a longtime supporter of Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. He's here tonight to say a few words.
Hello, I'm Senator Anthony Bucco, and I'm honored to be with you tonight for the Vision Loss Alliance's first virtual Dining in the Dark. In 2014, I was honored to be recognized by the Alliance with its Founders Award for my support of those that are visually impaired. For me, this is a little personal. In 1998, I lost sight in my right eye. While I am lucky to have full vision in my left eye, I often wonder how I would be able to handle simple routines if anything were to ever happen to my other eye. The Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey provides support, education, skills training, assistant technology, and employment opportunities for people of all ages who are visually impaired. Tonight, your contributions help the Alliance to continue its vital mission. Congratulations to Carl Augusto, who became the new board chair earlier this summer, and Chris Marino, the executive director, and the entire staff for adapting during these trying times. We all know these last 6 months have not been easy. Enjoy the evening. Please know that you always have my full support. Good luck, and God bless you.
Don't hesitate to use visual references during a conversation, such as, "Did you watch that TV show? Did you read that book? That steak looks good, doesn't it? See you later."
And finally, I would like to introduce Carl Augusto, Chair of the Board of Vision Loss Alliance, who will close tonight's program.
Hello, I'm Carl Augusto, and I'm very proud to be the Chair of the Board of Trustees of Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Being blind myself and having spent my entire 45-year career working at organizations serving people with vision loss, I'm well aware what makes an organization an exemplary one. That's why I was pleased to accept the invitation to serve on the board of Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. In March, when the coronavirus pandemic hit, VLANJ was quick to adapt. We established virtual programs and are simulating many of the programs we provided in-house, and have established additional programs. Our students are participating through video conferencing or by phone, and our virtual programs have enabled us to serve additional people with vision loss beyond our student population, especially those who were unable to attend in person because of transportation difficulties. Our virtual programs have been so successful, we'll continue them. And we will be reinstating our in-house programs when it's feasible to do so. The number of people with severe vision loss in the United States is increasing. There are two factors. One, we're living longer, and two, low birth weight babies are surviving like never before, but many of them have multiple disabilities, blindness and severe visual impairment being among the most frequently occurring. The good news is with the proper support and the proper training, blind and visually impaired people can and do live and work with dignity and success alongside their sighted peers. Therefore, the demand and need for our service will continue to grow. The good news is that with the proper training and support, blind and visually impaired people can and do live and work with dignity and success alongside their sighted peers. Our students prove this every day. Simply stated, our programs work. These have been extraordinary times for all of us, and our economy has suffered. But not only do we at Vision Loss Alliance in New Jersey want to survive, we want to continue to thrive. But to do this, we need your support. If you're already a donor, thank you. We hope you'll continue. This would be a good time. If you haven't made a contribution yet to VLANJ, we ask you to do so now. All donations that are received through this event will go directly to our virtual programs. Please help us to ensure that our services will enable more people with vision loss to lead productive and independent lives. To learn more about our programs and to make a contribution, visit us at vlanj.org or call us at 973-627-0055. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your generosity. We have one last message from our students before we let you go.
Thank you.
Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey, transforming lives, one individual at a time.
Hello, this is Linda Grosseff. Thank you to our MC, Joyce Esty, and all of our students and instructors who participated in tonight's event. Thank you for joining us tonight for VLANJ Goes Virtual, a Dining in the Dark experience. We appreciate your support. All funds raised from tonight's event will benefit our virtual programs. To donate, please visit our website at www.vlanj.org/donations.